Okay, today is March the 18th, 2026, and it's about, I don't know, 11:30 at night. So, if you don't know me, my name is Erica, and I have read books. I have a passion to study and read, and usually it's late at night. And I am not working outside of the house, and I haven't for many years. But even when I was working a full-time job, I'd come home and late at night I would read. And it's been about 20 years or so. And reading really opened up my mind. And that's actually how the Lord led me to find a cure for the lupus that I was diagnosed with. And it was through a variety of herbs and remedies and, just different things that the Lord, He gave me a passion to study. And when I would try these herbs and these remedies, I would find that my body was healing. So the other night I was having an issue with something, and I ended up picking up this book, and I began to read and just get really re-encouraged. So now I've been taking MSM for many years, and so I'm just gonna read a little bit. I thought, you know what? Instead of me just sitting here quietly reading to myself and me gaining the knowledge and just trying to share it with friends, I thought, why don't I just read a few testimonials? So first of all, I'm not going to read this whole book. You can actually buy it on Audible, or you can just get a copy. So The Miracle of MSM, The Natural Solution for Pain. So this one, it says, relieves back pain, headaches, muscle pain, arthritis, athletic injuries, allergies, and more. Now I've been taking MSM on and off for at least 10 years or so, and probably longer than that. And so we buy ours at the feed store. So I'm not telling you what to do, but we have bought ours at the feed store, and it comes in a big bucket. And actually, it's for joint support. And this is the one we take. I just put it in a little jar, and we take about 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoons a day. You can work your way up. It's basically like sulfur, which the human body is made of sulfur. It's like a crystallized salt. You can buy it at Sprouts or any Whole Food store, and I'm not telling you. This is just what we do. We've used it for joint pain, headaches. There's just many testimonials. First of all, I'm not telling you to take it or not to take it. We're just sharing what we do. And it is bitter, so you can just take a teaspoon of it and then chase it down with your favorite juice or water, or you can even put it in your coffee. So, now MSM is a form of DMSO, dimethyl sulfoxide. Again, this is another one we've taken for at least 6 years. And these are all, basically, it comes from trees, like DMSO, but we'll just stay on one subject right now. So this one is for joint pain, rashes, and so I do have my DMSO book, and maybe I'll read a page out of that, dimethyl sulfoxide and trauma and disease. So the books are out there, guys. The information is out there. It's just a matter of us opening up the book and wanting to absorb the information that the Lord has for us. DMSO is just a powerhouse when it comes to sickness and disease, and it was discovered in the year 1866. So if you want to take a screenshot of this and just start doing your research, you can reverse a diagnosis. You just have to have childlike faith, and then, just learn. So we'll leave that one there, and we'll get back to the MSM, the miracle of MSM. So I'll just read the foreword, I think it is. Let me see. Actually, And again, I'm going to do this for my family. My dad can watch this. My mom. Okay, so note to the reader. It says, this book about the nutritional supplement MSM is not intended as medical advice and should not be used to replace medical care or any therapeutic program recommended by a physician. It is meant for information and education only. If you have symptoms or suffer from an illness, you should consult with an appropriate health professional for your condition. If you are currently taking prescription drugs, do not discontinue them or replace them based on any of the information or recommendations appearing in this book without first consulting your doctor. Clinical experience indicates that MSM does not interfere with any medication. However, if you are under treatment for any condition and are considering taking MSM, we recommend that you first inform your physician and obtain his or her opinion. There's that. So you've got like amazing MSM, roots of MSM, the DMSO connection, how to take MSM, MSM for pain, and MSM for inflammation. You've got arthritis, back pain, headaches, fibromyalgia, muscle pain, and athletic injuries and tendinitis. So, okay, let's read just a little bit here. And I would encourage you to get the book. It says, you are about to read a report on MSM, a nutritional supplement attracting widespread excitement similar to the enthusiasm I witnessed a few years ago with the publication of my books on melatonin and DHEA. And let me just remind you, this book was written in 1999. 1999. We're in 2026, so the information has been out there. MSM appears to be another natural substance promising substantial benefits such as relief from pain, inflammation, and allergies for those who take it as a nutritional supplement. As a physician, my concern for patient care always involves the fundamental principle of do no harm. Unfortunately, in our efforts to help patients with disability and discomfort, we often rely on medications that have significant toxicity and create adverse side effects. As a medical oncologist and gerontologist, I am always skeptical of the value of a non-toxic drug, but many vitamins and food supplements have a place in medicine as substance offering their therapeutic effects without major clinical toxicity. The use of agents such as melatonin and MSM is giving health professionals new, safer options with which to help combat the debility of chronic disease. Again, this was written in 1999. Okay, so we're going to move forward to, these are some of the stories I was reading the other day. Okay, so these are some of the testimonials. So chapter 20, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, interstitial cystitis, and scleroderma. So we'll just probably read the first story. Maybe another time I'll read another story because I don't know if this is going to get taken down from YouTube. I'm not going to read the whole book. I'm just sharing. So this is a testimony. And there's many testimonies. This one's called A Mother's Story. Kristen Miller has been to hell and back, even though she is only 6 years old. The journey, as her mother tells it, began with a backyard fall in 1994 at the Miller home in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Kristen was not quite two at the time. Her right knee became red hot and swollen. Dorothy Miller recalls, the pediatrician called it a sprain and said to ice it and try to have her stay off the leg as much as possible. It would heal in a few weeks. Oh, how I only wish the doctor had been right. Kristen was happy, outgoing, and adventuresome. After her fall, she was not her usual self. She became irritable, lost her appetite, and cried a lot. Keeping us up at night, it became obvious after a short period of time that it was more than just a sprained knee. Tests determined she had a very aggressive form of juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. Then began a merry-go-round of medication. Including Advil, naproxen, and child's Motrin. They didn't help much. She was crying all the time. Kristen's right knee became swollen to double the size of her left knee. It was a constant source of pain. She would contort the leg into unnatural positions in an attempt to ease the pain. Whatever position the leg was in when she fell asleep was the position it would be in the morning. It would be locked stiff, and she would often be in pain and crying. I would put Kristen into a warm bathtub and have to manipulate her leg for an hour or two to loosen the contracture. She would crawl for a few hours afterward and then walk with a limp afterward. We eventually had to use a specifically designed leg brace to keep her leg straight. Then her right ankle became swollen to the point that she couldn't wear a shoe on that foot. The doctor said she needed stronger medication and prescribed a steroid drug, Prelone. She took a high dose orally and it helped some with the swelling, but they didn't like to keep children on steroids for any length of time because of side effects and potential damage to the body. The plan was to get relief from the steroids and then rotate to the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories. Trouble was the non-steroidals didn't work, and so she was kept on the steroids. The side effects were a nightmare, as bad as the disease itself. Kristen developed body hair and premature breast tissue, mood swings, demineralization in her bones, and a hunch in her back. Her immune system was shattered. Any minor cold became a crisis. For that reason, she had to be isolated from other kids. She swelled up like a balloon. Her muscles were so weak she could hardly walk. She often had stomach pain and cried from the discomfort. Once she had constipation for many days and then suddenly, while standing, literally exploded with black, gritty feces. She was so toxic from the drugs. In 1995, the doctors said that the steroid medication should be reduced and eventually discontinued. They were concerned about Cushing's disease, a condition brought about by long-term drug treatment that affects the adrenal glands and results in the glands stopping the production of cortisol. Eventually, she was diagnosed with Cushing's. We were then given two choices for continuing treatment. Methotrexate, a chemotherapy drug, or gold shots. The options were like going from the frying pan into the fire. The risks included hair loss, vomiting, diarrhea, and liver damage for the methotrexate and excruciating pain with the gold shots. Eventually, with these options, one doctor told me the prognosis was very poor for Kristen. By this time, I had lost faith in the doctors and started to search for other options on my own. I learned in my inquiries that methotrexate actually causes lymphoma in some children, but it is said to clear up when the medication is stopped. Nevertheless, the kind of news was all I needed to hear. These aren't acceptable treatments. I also learned that the methotrexate is not even approved by the FDA for children, yet it is still used. I wasn't going to let my daughter be destroyed by torturous treatments. Early in 1996, I I heard about the work of Dr. Jacob at the Oregon Health Sciences University. I contacted him and he suggested we try MSM. It's this MSM right here. I told my pediatrician about it, who replied that it probably wouldn't harm or help my daughter. So we started her on MSM with orange or apple juice every day and also applied MSM lotion to her swollen joints. And this cream right here has MSM in it because you can buy the lotion too. See, right there, MSM. Because it comes in different forms. Let's see, where was I? So we started her on MSM with orange or apple juice every day and also applied MSM lotion to her swollen joints. Within 2 weeks, I started seeing changes. The pain was still there, but her appetite was better. Her disposition improved. She started laughing. I was afraid to believe what I was seeing. As time passed, there were more improvements. Her knee was less swollen. We slowly weaned her off the steroids and stopped the drug altogether by August 1996. By then, Kristen no longer needed the leg brace. She was walking better than ever, and the knee inflammation had subsided in a major way. The doctor said she was in remission. Could it be? I stopped the MSM. The symptoms started getting worse again. So I knew it was the work of MSM and not true remission. By September 1997, Kristen was able to attend kindergarten. She was walking, running, full of energy, and seemingly less bothered by colds than other kids. She soon was able to become a brownie and enjoy the fun activities like other girls her age. Kristen keeps taking her MSM regularly. I don't know where she would be without it. If not dead, then for sure, and a lot of misery. She has some residual problems from her ordeal, but basically she is intact and healthy with a chance for a normal, happy, and pain-free life. That is all a mother can ask for. So the next story is all about rheumatoid arthritis. And yeah, then the miracle of MSM. This one is, you've got another really great story. This James Colburn story is an amazing story. Maybe I'll read that one later. But I just hope that this encourages you. It says there's no reason just to forget the miracle of MSM working for you. You can buy this at Sprouts. You can buy this on Amazon, the book and the MSM. So MSM, or methyl sulfine methane, is the first safe natural side effect-free remedy for many types of pain and inflammatory conditions. In this authoritative look at MSM, Dr. Stanley Jacob and Ronald Lawrence reveal how to tap into the benefits of the amazing miracle compound. Experienced in the successful treatment of thousands of patients for pain, they explain how to take MSM, how much, when, with what foods, and in what form to relieve pain in its many varieties, including degenerative arthritis, chronic back pain, chronic headache, muscle pain, fibromyalgia, tendinitis, bursitis, carpal tunnel syndrome, TMJ, post-traumatic pain and inflammation, allergies, and more. So Dr. Stanley Jacob was just phenomenal. He died in his 90s, and he just was a warrior for DMSO and its benefits. And DMSO has been around since 1866, but pretty much was rediscovered in the 1950s or so. And then Dr. Stanley Jacob, pretty much brought it back to life, and he preached about it in the early 70s. And it's just an amazing pain reliever. I mean, if you don't know, like it's used for like major athletes use it. It's used in hospitals, and it's really, really inexpensive to buy. But it really does take the pain away and heal the body. And so I hope that you really look into MSM, and just if I can read a page out of a book or two, then I'll do my part and share the story. So God bless you and have a wonderful evening.